Welcome to Chattin with the Captain. Ahoy. How are my Hexicans? This is my stream this time. Fridays is yours. Mondays is mine. We are waiting on our guest. Mr. Foster Harris did tweet, so I'm sure he's just having a little bit of trouble getting in. Let me say hello to everybody. What a freaking badass day it is today. How about that T-shirt payout? That should be like, we should all be doing backflips and talking about the T-shirt payout, because 12 point, what is it, Melf? What was it? 12.46, something like that. Something to the nature of 12.5, something. I don't know. 12 anything is pretty damn exciting. Everybody should be looking at that. We should be measuring our growth by T-share payouts. That's what we should be doing. Hexicans should be measuring growth by T-share, because that's all that matters, is your hex growing. That's all that matters. Don't care about yield anywhere else. Why would you even consider sticking your money in somebody else's hands, or sticking your crypto, I should say, in anybody else's hands, in hopes that they're going to take care of you, that your best interest is in their mind, and that the reason for receiving your money was to service you and take care of you? Nothing doing. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about your crypto. Only when it's in their hands do they give a shit. They want your crypto in their hands so that they can control it, so that they can leverage it and lose it, because you're going to lose it anyway if you're out there trading. So really, the people that lost their money, they were going to lose their money anyway. They really were. Hexicans unaffected. We don't have to deal with that. We interact with the Hex Smart contract. We don't interact with Richard Hart. You don't interact with RG3. You don't interact with any Dev Kyle, none of them. It's you and a little old lonely contract and your little button pushing finger. Boom. Staked. Boom, and stake. More hex. Automatic. You're going to have more hex. Not, you could be this much APY. You could make this much, this stake. No. You're automatically going to get T-share payouts every single day that you are staked. Period. In the story. That's how amazing it is. What a system. And it's time tested over 3 years of service. No hiccups, no bugs, no problems. Not one end stake went wrong. Not one stake went wrong. Nobody lost a dime. Not one little hex has been lost in the contract. That's how freaking good it is. So cool stuff this week going on. Cool stuff we get to talk about. This guy here that's coming on with me, Hexican, straight up. Rockstar, straight up. Real rockstar. Like the bowels of rockism here in LA. Like Whiskey A Go-Go, the Rainbow, that kind of stuff. This guy's like real rock star. If you, I don't know, for those of you who haven't been to Hollywood in LA, like Hollywood, so Hollywood isn't California. So a lot of people come here thinking that I want to go to Hollywood. You know, first of all, it's a shithole. It's an absolute shithole. It's got all the famous stuff, the Chinese theater and all the buildings that we've all talked about in the Capitol records, but all that stuff is all there. Hollywood sign is there up on the mountain. You can see it. Stars on the street, but it's garbage. The place is garbage. And nobody in Hollywood is from California. They're all from all over the whole world. Come here for fame and fortune. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell you something very, very important. California will eat you alive. And Hollywood is the belly of the beast. That's where all of the sad, disgusting, horrible shit goes down. That's where everyone comes to try and make their way. That's where everyone wants to come and kick its ass. And guess what? It's beating more ass than it's a world champion of ass beatings out here. I'll tell you what, it takes a real. So if you see all these people in Hollywood that are acting in movies and rock stars that are playing, you got to take your hat off to those folks because they paid their damn dues. They worked. They struggled. They hurt in order to get what they have. Every once in a while, there's like this Star is Born story where somebody gets found. That's shit that doesn't happen. People come out here and go shopping at the Rite Aid thinking that they're going to get discovered every day. Like they can get their makeup on and their clothes and their best shit. And, rock stars will run around out there with the guitar on their back, just, of course, they're like looking like they should be at the whiskey playing versus out shopping at the freaking Trader Joe's. That's what they do out here. And guess what? Millions of them don't make it. Millions of them get ground up in that meat grinder. For those who make it, you got to take your hats off to them. And my next guest here, this is a guy that actually made it in Hollywood. From a kid, he was like 19 years old. That's like dangerous. That's some dangerous shit. If you can come in here at 19 and make it and get through the meat grinder, and my hat is off. So my next guest, I'm gonna bring him up right now, Mr. Scott Foster Harris, rock star and Hollywood conqueror. What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
Good to see you again, man.
Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. Glad you came on.
100%. Dude, in the early days, I used to put my leather pants on to go to 7-Eleven.
Tell me I'm wrong.
100% right, bro. 100%.
Did I nail it or what?
Yeah.
Well, I was out there too, man. It ate me. Well, I think I ate myself up. I'm from California, so I knew how to navigate, but I couldn't navigate Hollywood because that is a different beast out there, man.
It's just getting weirder, man.
It's getting weirder.
It's getting weirder and weirder. I mean, it's been a couple years since I walked those streets, but a homeless person with a needle in their arm asleep on the sidewalk is not uncommon to see at 3 p.m. Outside of XYZ store. It's normal. It's weird. It's weird.
It's worse. I mean, I lived there like in the early 90s or something like that. And then late 80s, early 90s. And it was the same, but it wasn't as intensified. It wasn't as you had your homeless, but now you've got your homeless, like a whole street full of people just laid out underneath the bridge,
like a block, like a section of the city, like they have their own zip code.
Yeah.
It's creepy. It's weird.
It is. And then, all the other stuff is all intensified too, the prostitution and the drugging and all that stuff. It's out of control.
Man.
So you want to come out here and make your fame and fortune, just realize that you're leaving your beautiful home and family and people that you love and care about and the place that you really worked hard to do what you're doing. And you're coming and you're going to jump in the bottom of the garbage can.
Truth.
Jump right into it and hopefully try and claw your way out of it. And I'll tell you what, there's a million people in that trash can trying to pull you down so that you don't get out.
Yeah, they are, man. Nailed it.
So,
you used to have to go there if you wanted to have any sort of success.
Yeah, now you don't have to be here.
When I was coming up, I had to.
You had to play the rainbow. You had to play the whiskey. You had to be there.
Not now. Anybody can do it from anywhere if they know how to work social right. Exactly. If they know how to do that, if they know how to market, they know how to work the system.
Yes,
you can be anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection and make $1 million.
That's great. I hope it cleans up our city, to be honest.
Yeah.
Eventually, maybe people say, Hollywood's that place is garbage.
We only go back there now if we have to, like if it's for a meeting or something.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. And it was a couple Christmases ago, so it was the last time I was there. So,
wow. Good for you.
Yeah, man, it's working. We're in Texas now. I dig it. I like Texas. Dallas is a cool city.
Oh, nice. You're in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, my whole family's spread all over Texas, from Corpus Christi to San Antonio to Austin, Houston, Dallas. We got them everywhere. They love it out there.
Yeah, man.
And my sister-in-law just told me last night they're moving to Texas. Like,
no kidding. Are they in Orange County or are they south?
They're Orange County.
Orange County.
So they're packing it up and going, man.
People are doing it, man. You know, lots of folks up in San Francisco and south of San Francisco. Everybody's just leaving. You know, Texas or Florida or Tennessee. I think a lot of people are going to Tennessee.
I'm doing everything to help everybody get out, bro. I gotta quit talking so kindly about California.
Naturally,
because I just get everybody clear back out. Go back home, guys. Go back home.
Oh, dude. Well, you know, if the population continues to dwindle like it is out there, that might be a thing. You know,
it might be the new place to be.
Yeah, because so much space clears out. I think it used to be pretty sparse, but of course, a long time ago. But whenever we came around, it was, you know, it was packed. It's been packed since. But you're right, dude. It's not the glamorous place that the world thinks that it is. Everywhere I would go,
it's not. Everywhere
in the world, people would always be like, "Tell me about LA," and it's like,
do I have to?
Yeah. Like, it's nothing to tell, man. You know,
it's
don't go.
I've been all over the world, dude. I've been to Thailand, I've been to the Philippines and Japan and Korea and in Europe, and there is no more of a depressing, dirty city than LA. LA is just San Francisco's got it matched.
Yeah, it is.
But LA is just a horrible place to be.
That's sad to me because San Francisco, in the early days, for me at least, was beautiful. Like, it's a really, really charming city.
Oh, it was.
In the last decade and a half, it's just, you know, I feel like the policies have just beat it up.
Yeah,
you know, same thing with LA.
Yeah, LA it's kind of its own animal, but there's just so much money there that, you know, they keep places of it nice, and then they let the rest of it just go to, you know,
it's weird.
So it's a weird town. It's weird town. It's like, how do you get billionaires and homeless junkies like in the same shopping center? They both go there,
and then you have, unfortunately, your homeless junkies laying down asleep on the sidewalk outside of their gates. That's normal. Yeah. Isn't that weird? Man, that's weird.
It's weird.
It's a weird city. It's a desperate city. I think we talked about this last time.
Oh, desperation.
How that place is.
Yeah.
You just feel it, man. It just emanates off that city. It's like,
and the best looking waiters and waitresses, oh my gosh, they all look like movie stars, every single one of them.
And they all have the saddest eyes you'll ever see.
And then whether or not they botched an audition is how well you're going to be served that evening.
True story, man.
Because they're all actors and actresses. Every waiter and waitress is a.
Golly, I'm happy not to be there anymore.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I just got lucky. That's all it was for me. I was just in the right place at the right time, and could do the thing that they needed me to do. That's all it was. Just, oh, you can do that. Okay, we'll come do this. Okay, I'll go do that. And then it just worked.
Well, you did it, and you did it well. So
you
continue to do so. So hats off to you, my man.
Word,
so
brother.
let's get into this crypto market, dude. Today, I gotta say, I got fired the fuck up.
It's hard not to.
I have been trying to just hold it back. I've been trying to be cautiously optimistic, but my crypto senses are telling me that for some reason, I think we're out of this bear market. I still could be wrong, but it sure does feel like we are out of the bear market. And I'm talking general crypto. I'm not just talking Hex.
I agree.
Wow.
Even, you know, we could have a hard retracement and a hard pullback. It doesn't matter. The sentiment has changed. The thought or rather, I guess that's the best word. The sentiment, the overall energy behind the way that the market on a macro level and a micro level acts has changed. It has shifted. People are tired of this
Even
bear.
even if we're looking for a retracement, how is it that like so much energy has come into this space during this time where, I mean, if it is a bull trap, then that would mean that it's kind of an induced longer pain cycle. That's all it is it's a longer pain cycle. It's induced usually by some entities. I think it was that one token that kind of faked out everybody the last time. But it doesn't seem like we have any of that going on. It looks like we have more adoption. It looks like we've got more wallets. It looks like we've got more I think smaller money coming in versus, you know, and then the posturing. I don't know if you've seen any of the news, but I'm watching the news feeds, crypto news feeds, and I'm seeing Whale just moved this much Ethereum. Whale just took this much ADA and did this with it. And a Whale did, you know, and they're not selling or necessarily buying, but they're positioning.
That's right. It seems like, from what I can see, it seems like they're breaking, like they're using the daughter wallets a lot more effectively than they were. It seems to me like they're taking their big mom or dad wallets, or whatever you want to call them, and they're starting to partition that out to some of the smaller wallets. Why? I don't know, man. Maybe they're just expecting this to continue to rock. Best guess, you know.
Yeah, I think it's positioning and posturing. I think
just trying to show off. Like, look,
the whales are trying to make other whales flinch. Like right now, Hex is in that kind of precarious situation right now. I think once we get like to the 7 cent range, that's like got some whales getting their asses tickled with a feather. You know what I'm saying? Yes. I think some whales are going, all right, who's moving this? I move this. Control. Yeah. So who is, and then as that occurs, that now we've got more people thinking, you know, and as Richard has been, you know, giving more and more updates. I mean, Richard going from, right? Don't we all? I mean, all been waiting him going from showing watches and talking about his schlong to now he's like silent, comes out, throws just the literally the knowledge of what's going on. Boom, 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 lays it all out, and then back into the office.
He's very reserved, and I like that because there's nothing for people to hate on. He just gives it. He gives it. You know what? I think it's a subtle move too on his part. He's such a smart dude. Subtle move too on his part because he's subtly letting people know, I'm on this shit. This is happening. I'm busy.
And that's why we're pumping. I think that he's got to be very careful with that too, and not to say too much, and not to, because I think he's like, I'm not trying to change the market. I'm just giving some very simple updates. They're very technical. There's nothing about any time frames or anything. So he doesn't want to. I think he doesn't want to like freak the market into FOMO.
It's a dance, man.
Yeah, it looks like he's dancing with it, and it's working phenomenally right now.
I think so too. It's just right. Not too fast, not too slow. Just
and
to take an old Adam Sandler quote, at a medium pace.
And that's how Hex goes, bro. It starts out like that, and then all of a sudden you start seeing it move. Liquidity starts drying up, and right now the liquidity is lower than it has been in a long time. Liquidity starts drying up in that DEX, and boom, when the first whale jumps, for those of you who haven't experienced a big Hex pump, guys, this is just the beginning. This is like just the little baby heartbeats of this thing when it gets ready to pop off, because it's gonna. When it goes, it goes.
Dude, this is my first run up. Like, I got into crypto and I discovered PulseX, because I came in the beginning of 2022. 2022 was my intro, and it was PulseX. I was like, what is this? That's how it all started. And I discovered Hex from there. So all I've known is just downward trajectory, but I could see it. I've read a bunch, I studied a bunch, and I'm like, okay, I get this. I understand the whole cycle thing. We'll just ride it out, man, and I'll just DCA, and that's what I've been doing. And I wish I would have bought more at 1.7 or 1.8. I didn't. I got close to that, and I didn't spend as much as I wanted to. But all that I DCA'd in when we were sub 3.
You're up 3x on
I'm really happy about that. I've never experienced that sort of thing before, but I get it.
Oh,
I always knew it would come, and I know where it's gonna go. I know what's gonna happen. I can already feel it in my bones, even though I haven't experienced that kind of euphoria.
uh-huh.
I know in the coming year and a half, man, that's what I have to look forward to. So I'm just gonna keep riding the wave, man. Keep collecting my T-shares and just smiling. Best
We
I can
could
do.
be in the beginnings of that. We really could be. There's still people calling for retracement. There's still people thinking that we're going to go to a penny. Um,
I
I'm
can't
finding that hard to believe at this point.
I can't imagine a world where that happens.
I
But if it did, guess who's buying? I mean,
yeah.
I'm buying. I'm buying. I'm buying. For those of me, a lot of people have asked me DMs, dude, is it too late to get in? No, no, it is not too late. No, the best time is now. Even if we go down, the best time is now because that could very well not happen. Get your seat on the train, man. You know, I know we
It's
pumped 50, 60% over the last week or so. That's just the beginning of the beginning. We haven't even begun to begin. Not too late. Won't be too late for a while to start buying like I am.
no,
That's
and
what
there
I'm
were
doing.
people that were saying that when we all first entered, there were a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, it's all over with now. Big payday's over and all that stuff." And like, no, this thing's just getting started. What are you talking about? And then sure thing,
I would have
we're
loved
still running, still ripping, still moving up.
that. I would have loved
And it was it was a trip, to be honest. I mean, I'd been in bull runs. I'd made some money, in 2016, 15, 16, made a lot in 17,
that.
seen a
Yeah.
lot of downturns, but
I remember your
nothing
story.
prepares you for that rip when Hex just goes like,
N-
whoa,
I
what the
can't
heck?
wait. I can't wait.
I mean, think about it. Today was a 12 point something. Let's see. I think that he put it into, I was trying to get the exact number, but we had 12 freaking Hex payout, 12 plus
Yesterday, yeah.
payout today.
Today we did.
Yeah, today. I think we got yesterday and today. I think there was 2 days there. It might have been the day before and then yesterday or today.
Thank you, everybody who's emergency on stakes for your service.
Now,
Grateful for that.
sometimes it's a good thing. Somebody did it for whatever reason. Sometimes somebody got robbed, and that sucks when that happens.
That does suck. I
Yeah.
hate to hear that. That's
But
hard.
every time somebody doesn't know their security well enough and loses their keys, we get paid on it.
Mhm. It's
And
true.
it's sad, but to teach people how to take care of their stuff.
I agree.
12.615, Sandy says, is what our
That's
thank
a
you, Sandy.
beautiful thing, man. Look at that.
That's monstrous.
I
mean, everybody should be doing that math right now. Look at your T-shares, do the math, and look what you did in one day. Now imagine, that Hex you just received, that 12 Hex per T-share you just received today, no matter what that number is, when Hex is worth $1, $2, $3, $5, that's what you made in dollars.
That's right.
That's what you made today. Because
That's right.
the stake's probably sitting out there a little ways. That's what you made when Hex is all that Hex you've gathered. It all grows.
It
all grows.
It's so crazy to think about as the price appreciates so significantly, which it will, which I'm so excited about it. You're right. You're not you earn on average 6 or 7 Hex per T-share. Well, at one, a month ago, a month and a half ago, that was 21 cents. But in no time, that's going to be $21.
Yep.
And then above and beyond that, who knows how high it's going to go? Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? Mathematically, it can go really, really, really absurdly high.
Yeah, it can. It can. And I remember Richard saying that in the beginning when we were, just getting things going. And I was like, yeah, okay, he's just kind of hyping. But then as we unpeeled the onion of Hex, we started to understand, it's like, wait a minute. There's a way that this thing is just going to start, Hex is going to start disappearing. Wow. The trading volume has a lot to do with how high Hex can go. That's liquidity stays low. I'm sorry, not the volume, but the liquidity stays low. Man, oh man, we're just going to keep seeing it pump and pump and pump. And the more and more it pumps, the more and more FOMO, the more and more pumps, the more expensive it gets, the more people start to come. It's a freaking snowball effect.
In my short time in crypto, I have learned a variety of things, but probably the most important lesson I've learned, one of the most important lessons I've learned, is people buy green candles.
Oh yeah, they do.
They
buy expensive stuff.
They buy expensive green candle, and the higher the green candle, the more they buy. You're right. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Around and around it goes.
Like look at the trading volume, the purchasing that was going on at 2 cents. Just go look at it. You'll be like, okay, look at the average days and how many people. And then let's go back. Now, I'm going to take it into the future. Let's just say Hex goes past 58 cents, which was, 56, I think 54 was right where the all-time highs were. Watch what happens when Hex jumps over that all-time high again. Watch the daily volume. What happens? How many people buy the expensive Hex that were probably even looking at it at 2 cents?
I know they were.
Boom, and it just ratchets everything back up even more.
Johnny Chaos said something maybe a week or a few weeks ago, I think it was. I forget which stream it was, but it caught my attention. And I think it's been echoed a couple of times throughout the community. And I'm paraphrasing because his words are much better than mine could ever be. But he said something along the lines of, he who waits to buy a penny Hex will buy at a nickel. Or maybe it was something along the lines of, he who's waiting to buy at 1 cent will buy at a nickel. And I think that just continues perpetually. Like he who waited to buy at a nickel a few days ago will buy at a quarter. And then so on, 50 cents, and then $1.50. And they'll just wait for that retracement that might come slightly, but will never come down to the levels that they want it to come down at. It's just a psychological barrier. It's just a speed bump that they can't get around. And it ultimately is going to cost them lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of money. So just buy, man. No advice here. I can tell you what I'm doing, and I'm buying.
Well,
I'm going to continue to until I don't have anything left. Any powder that I have I'm going to continue to DCA until I don't have any powder left that I already have set aside for this.
Mm-hmm. So
that's the right way to say it.
Here's a beautiful thing. I don't know why we get concerned here, and I've done it all the time myself. This is not financial advice. This is not financial advice. Of course, it's not financial advice because we're in crypto, and all crypto is a digital asset. It's a number. It's a digit. That's it. And if somebody wants to put value on that digit, then cool. But all it is it's a stupid little digit on a freaking spreadsheet on the internet.
It's good ones and zeros.
That's it. That's all it is.
That's a good point, man.
We happen to like these things, so we get them when they're cheap, and sometimes we'll trade them when they're expensive, and cash some out, and not hold as many as we'd like. But it's just a thing, man. All it is a commodity.
Yeah.
And the regulatory bodies are getting really, really like, they aren't even looking at DeFi. They're like, that stuff we can't figure out, because see, they're really confused in the regulatory world because of DeFi. See, they think that everything is supposed to be or is in the crypto space, and they can't do anything about it. So that's why they've never tried to regulate. They can't regulate. How can you regulate something that's unregulatable? How can you just say, hey, thing, you're going to do my will, thing? No, there's no human being behind Hex. You can't make Hex do anything.
That's true. Well stated.
The regulating bodies can yell at Hex all day long. Hex, stop. No, Hex ain't going to stop. Hex, don't do that. Hex, stop giving crypto to people. Hex, don't let people stake anymore. Hex, hey, if they're an American citizen or they're from Zimbabwe, don't let them stake. Hex, no, they can't do that. The regulating bodies can't do that.
Hex doesn't care. Hex doesn't have any ears, and it's immutable. Sorry.
Hex don't give a fuck. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's the damn honey badger of crypto.
Nice, dude.
It's the freaking honey badger of crypto, and they
new slogan.
They're gonna they hate it. So they're going after low hanging fruit, which is, guess what? The centralized exchanges.
Of course it is. They have to try to save face somehow. No.
Yeah. Oh,
After the year that we had, they have to try to save face. So that's what they're doing. And you know what? Even if they did figure out a way to, or even if they tried to come after DeFi on any level, you know, who was it that said we can innovate significantly faster than they can regulate? And that's true. That's true. You know, there's no holds barred in the world of DeFi. So even if somehow regulation gets foisted on in whatever cavalier manner onto the back of DeFi, we just innovate our way away from it far quicker than they could ever attempt to regulate it.
Yeah, it's already happening. I mean, in the back rooms and the programmers and the devs that are building stuff right now on Pulse Chain, you know, building things specific for Pulse Chain, yep. They're light years ahead of the regulators. God, I mean, the regulators are still looking at Bitcoin and CBDCs and Ethereum and whether or not freaking Ripple is a freaking security. I mean, that's the stuff they're looking at. DeFi is too confusing for them. They don't know what to do right now. And it's going to eat their own, they're going to get their lunch eaten.
Yeah, I think you're right. In order to really get it, like I probably spent 60 hours just deep into studying before I'm like, okay, I got a grasp on the basics of what this is. But it took a long time to really fully understand it from zero to 60, going 0 to 60. Take some time. So I can imagine how much time and difficulty, how much time it would take and how difficult it would be for a giant regulating body to try to come together on some sort of consensus on what to do for the problem.
The way you can see the way that they're working this right now is like, just imagine them out in the ocean and they're trying to chase down all of these jet skis and they're in a freaking aircraft carrier and all these jet skis are running around ripping everybody off and they're trying to chase this thing down. Right. And they got this big old freaking aircraft carrier and they don't know what to do.
They just honey badgers driving the jet skis.
So they're going to get their clocks clean.
That's great. And, good analogies.
But they're trying to figure out whether or not a crypto asset is a security or not based on its nomenclature. Hexagons are figuring out how to burn more tokens, how to wrap NFTs around T-shares. The rest of the world doesn't even know what a T-share is, let alone
not yet.
These guys know how to wrap them now and make them function in a different way and make them mobile and turn them into power generators that can create whole new worlds and whole new freaking systems in the crypto space.
Real thing.
These guys are like, these galaxy brain dudes in Hex are just blowing it away right now.
Bro, in a few years, the T-share is going to be a unicorn, man. No one's ever going to, they're almost going to be unattainable, I think. B shares will be a thing, or M shares ultimately. That's going to happen mathematically. And I think it's getting closer and closer at a more and more rapid rate.
Yeah, man, I want to live to see the day that they call them shares.
Word. I got half a share the other day.
Be like Berkshire Hathaway shit, right?
That's okay with me. That won't hurt my feelings.
Won't bother me none either.
Bring it on.
Me none either. Right on. So what else? What have you been up to, man? Other than are you musicking it up or what's
making music? Deal? Making music.
Right
I'm in this room at half my life. I'm in this room, sitting right here or standing over there in the corner, which you can't see. I got a microphone and a bunch of stuff set up. And I used to have more amps. I think first time we streamed together, I had a number of different amps back there and there.
Yeah.
And they're not there anymore because I don't ever use them. I'm like, and I've literally sold them and bought Hex with them.
Nice.
All of it. Sold some guitar, just sold stuff that I didn't ever use. You know,
just sitting there.
Behind here, which you can't see, there's racks of studio gear, old school analog 1176s, LA2As, 1073s, lots of cool stuff. And I use a certain amount of it, but the other, a lot of it, I didn't use. I hadn't used, and I'm not tracking drums or anything. I haven't used it in several years. And I have these compressors and these EQs and these preamps and things. And just kind of took up rack space, and they're neat to have. But when I look at all that and I just see, you know, that's a lot of future T-shares sitting.
A lot of hex.
I don't. So I sold all the stuff I didn't need. Literally, I sold all the stuff I didn't need over this last year, and I bought hex with it. And
well, if it's just sitting there and hex sitting there makes more hex, so they're not making more amps.
That compressor over there is not paying me right now.
It's not paying you. It's not making more compressors. Like you ain't gonna wake up tomorrow and have another one stacked up on top of it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm pumped.
Yeah, this
whenever
thing is
Pulse
cool.
Chain goes live, whenever Pulse Chain goes live, I hope, maybe this is masochistic to say, but I hope P-Hex takes a big dip just for a moment. That's my play. That's my play.
You want some more of that, don't you?
I'm going hard in on that. I'm going to take all my copies. Yeah, of course. But I hope that people I hope they FOMO out of it. I hope they sell a lot of their PX to go into Pulse. And man, and if the PX price takes a dip, I'm going in hard. I mean, I'm coming at it.
I don't know how Pulse and Hex are gonna dip. I just don't know. I know there's going to be people that sell. I know that, but you're going to have so much demand. I know so many people that are Hexicans that told me they didn't get to sacrifice, or they didn't get to sacrifice enough for Pulse. I'm like, wait a minute.
I didn't get to sacrifice
you're like
Pulse.
Hardcore. You're a hardcore Hexican. You didn't get enough in, and you want more. So there are a lot of people that want more Pulse. I don't just, and if he bonds the two to get, which I think is what's going to happen, is you'll see Pulse and Hex, and whatever the ratio is going to be, that's people start buying that Pulse, and guess what happens? Hex goes up.
Yeah.
Exponentially.
That's why I want it. So the question then becomes, I guess it all depends on how quickly, assuming the OA bonds the liquidity, which I'm of the opinion that will happen. How soon will that happen? Will the OA not bond initially in the beginning, just to allow all that chaotic, a lot of the paper hands to get out of the way, a lot of that chaos to take place, and then bond and then set the prices? Or will he set prices? Will it set prices instantly? And if he does that, well, I'm going to be happy either way. I win either way, because I'm going to enjoy the appreciation of all the Hex exponentially as it relates to Pulse. But if he doesn't, and PX does temporarily dip, so it would only be temporary, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that want my play. Same thing.
Well, there was a lot of talk in the beginning about, and I was calling it like the like the Willy Wonka candy store day, right? Like there's going to be a moment when poof, we're all in there. Those of us who are in there, right? You're in Pulse Chain, but there's nothing. It's just a kind of a wasteland. It's kind of in purgatory for a moment, because there's no bridging, hasn't happened. The rat value hasn't come in. The bots haven't fixed everything.
Just sitting there.
We're just sitting there, and we're all like moving around in this space. Like we're in the candy shop the night before the grand opening, and everybody else getting in line outside, and we're inside. And the guy's like, you guys do whatever you want here. You just make sure all your bags are equal. Take some out of this one, put it in that one, but you can have whatever you want. So that was a talk. There was going to be like a moment in time where there was going to be just our ability to trade. I don't know if that's still the case. I haven't heard that talk in a while. But I think that there's going to be a moment where you'll be able to make those swaps without any value.
Yeah.
So that's the candy store night.
I'm hoping so. I wonder how quickly. At the same time, that prospect, I think, could be scary for a lot of people, because even if there's no value attached to it, a lot of folks might not understand ratios, and they might end up giving away a fortune trying to gain a fortune.
That's the other thing. That's why I warn against.
Tread carefully.
Maybe not making any moves is the best move.
It might be, and if you don't understand the math, sit on your hands, because otherwise you'll probably get wrecked. You know, if you do understand ratios, and you do understand how all that works, and you know what you want to do, well, make your play. Cool. But if you don't understand what I'm saying, or even what that means, man, I'd probably just sit on your hands and wait for value to be assigned.
Yeah.
Probably the best move, safest move in the long run. Because in the long run, it doesn't matter which of the three assets you have, you know.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in good shape. You're gonna be in great shape.
Yeah. Yeah. Traders are probably going to be the most, there will be the most wrecked people trying to trade and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
The people that hold, like, Richard's always said, and if you look at history, the winners are the holders, people that held on to it as long as they could.
That's so
And
true.
if you held Bitcoin from then until today, you'd be up like insane amounts of money.
I'll never. I mean, like one of the first quotes I ever heard Richard say in an interview. Really nice interview. Really good interview. He was nice and polite. He was talking and he said something like, it was just a soundbite, but it caught my attention. And it was something along the lines of the people who did best in crypto, the people who did best in Bitcoin were the ones that forgot they had it, that had a hard drive full of Bitcoin and forgot about it for a decade.
Accidentally. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I get it. That makes a lot of sense.
Makes a whole bunch of sense.
Oh, wouldn't that be a nice problem to have? Oh, what's this? What's this on my hard drive? Bitcoin.
Yeah. Richard has left many, many clues and told many, many people, don't trade, hold your coins, sacrifice phase. He coached everybody during sacrifice phase. It was just, he was telling everybody, these are the things that you do. This is how you do them. And people that listened did well. And the people that didn't, a lot of them got beat up, skinned up knees and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Stumped a few toes.
Yeah. And, he doesn't tell you exactly like, what you've got to do, but he leaves clues and says, hey, don't do the stupid things. These are the things that have made people successful in crypto.
Like, hey, don't do stupid stuff.
Yeah. Don't do stupid stuff.
Okay. Oh man, it's exciting.
Yeah, man. I haven't been thrilled for a while, just to be honest. And, the last couple of days I've been like, this is really looking promising. This is really starting to look good.
It's a thing. It's a thing. I'm still trying to get used to this, man. I call this my scruff. I call it my beard of apathy. And then the wifey ended up liking it. She was like, you just need to, now she's trying to convince me to keep it for a while. And I have. And I just tamed it recently because it was getting out of hand. But now she wants me to grow this out and do the D'Artagnan.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you got that look, man.
I might, I did it once before just as a gag, and I loved it. It was funny for a while, so I might do it again.
Yeah, I can't grow anything like over here. Good. I'm half native, so like I didn't get any facial hair till I was almost 30. I had 28, 29, and have nothing,
Word.
And then it came in, and it just came on like, okay, here, and then nothing here, scraggly. It looked like a rabid dog if I try and get here. It's horrible.
Old Joe Dirt.
Got enough here though.
Do you know what tribe or tribes?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm from the Adayas tribe in Louisiana.
We're
Caddo Confederacy. So they're Caddos.
The Caddos. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I learned a lot about that back in the old college days.
Well, that's what Texas is named after, a cattle word, which is Seisha, which is friend.
I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah. Because all that was cattle land. So the Caddos, and then I think it was.
So did they fight with the Cherokee and the Choctaw?
The Choctaw, Cherokees are on the other side, but yeah, the dirty Choctaws, the Osages, big enemies, Osages. So yeah, it was that whole area. Those are Choctaws, it's Chickasaws, Wichitas. Yeah. All those tribes are down there.
Sounds like a name of an album. It's like a punk band, the Dirty Choctaws.
I say that because I have a real good friend that's Choctaw, and they're always talking shit.
And the rivalry continues.
Because we used to have slaves, like Indians they'd steal somebody in war. They'd count coup and stuff, and they'd steal somebody, and then they had slaves. They had native slave. But
every nation on earth.
Oh yeah.
Participated in
they
that.
Still do it in a way. They just trying to make it look nicer now.
Yeah. And then other places, it's just it's the same that it's always been. You know,
Yeah.
go steal people and keep them.
Yeah. Or
Yeah, well,
eat them.
this is also true. I think the Karankawas, they speaking of all those Texas native tribes, I think it was the Karankawas that were cannibals. Like they killed
Oh,
people
a
for
lot of them did, like way in the
religion.
past. A lot of them did. There was kind of an awakening. We're like, hey, we're not going to do that no more. So
We should stop.
we should stop doing all that. And,
Oh man.
execution sacrifices. So there was like about 2,000 years ago, there was a switch, things kind of flopped over and
For the better.
that's where a lot of the native religions you see out now came from, is that era.
Definitely for the better. It was a good change.
Yeah.
Good change. Yeah. No more eating people.
No more eating people.
Yeah.
Well, mostly there wasn't a lot of that cannibalism going on, but some of the tribes they caught doing that. But they the sacrifices, the blood sacrifices, was like the thing that kind of, hey, let's knock that off. We don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah. Good change.
Yeah. Oh, all right, my man. Well, we went a whole hour here.
Dude, it's always good talking with you, man.
It's good talking to you too.
We start talking about Hex, it's hard not to, time flies. Get excited about it. I spend half my day just brainstorming, thinking about stuff all day as it relates to crypto.
Yeah. Hit me up ever you get out here signing contracts or something.
Dude, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And if you ever make your way to Texas, holler.
Oh, you're in the Dallas area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to get out there and go see one of my sisters anyway. Maybe I'll get that Dallas, get out there that Dallas way.
Yeah, man. Do it too.
Right on. All right, Scott. Thanks for coming, bro. Appreciate you. Hey, hang out in the green room for a minute. I'll be in there in a second.
You got it, man.
All right, everybody. We'll see you on Wednesday with, I think, Famous. I think we're moving the time up, so we're gonna move up a little bit, and we'll let you guys know what that's gonna be. But me and Famous will be on the Hexicans DeFi Syndicate on Wednesday, and then don't forget Friday Night Hangout, the FN Hangout, where your show, you get to come on and say your piece on Fridays. All right, guys, we'll see you.